A teenager who helped lure a boy to a suburban home and took part in the prolonged assault that killed him has been jailed for at least a decade. He was among a group of teenagers and adults who attacked 16-year-old Jason Galleghan at Doonside in Sydney's West, August the 4th, 2021. Tragically, Jason Galleghan died in hospital 2 days later. Of course, full condolences to all of Jason's family and friends, his schoolmates, anyone touched by this tragedy, lured to a suburban home and then assaulted by a group of teenagers and adults. Absolute scumbags. So we're told that the teenager concerned was 14 years old at the time. His name can't be released for legal reasons. He pled guilty to murder. We're told that he helped collect Jason from a railway station. The 14-year-old struck him 52 times in less than 2 minutes, kicking him in the head, also stomping on Jason's chest. The scumbag gang, the group of teenagers and adults, captured the attack on video and posted it online. Absolutely sick. That 14-year-old who pled guilty to murder had posted on social media hours before the assault saying that he was about to go bash someone. LMAO, laughed my ass off. 14-year-old was looking forward to joining a bunch of scumbag teenagers and adults in a planned attack on 16-year-old Jason Galleghan, lured him to a home in Doonside, and then they all piled on. Kicked in the head, stomped on the chest. A brutal attack. 7 minutes of the hour-and-a-half long attack was recorded on video, posted online, and again, tragically, Jason died. We're told that the teenager that lured Jason to the family home had a troubled upbringing. His mother was an alcoholic. There was some level of gang association. He claims that he felt pressured to contribute to the attack, none of which is relevant in my mind, none of which is enough to be considered for a moment to be any kind of justification. The 14-year-old was a human who saw fit to be a part of, to contribute to the murder of a 16-year-old boy. Sure, he was young, we make mistakes when we're young, but we don't go around killing people. We don't go around stomping on their chest, kicking people in the head. We're told that he's been sentenced to at least 10 years on a total sentence of 15 years and 6 months. So he's been sentenced to 15 years and 6 months in jail with the possibility of parole after 10 years, if I understand correctly. He'll be held in a juvenile facility until he turns 21 years of age, at which point he'll go into an adult jail, not quite sure of the terms. He'll be eligible for parole in 2031 when he's 24 years old. So this young murderer, again, he pled guilty to murder, could be out back on the streets at the age of 24. What's his life going to be then? We don't know. I mean, perhaps he's going to have support from his family and friends. He gets out at 24, perhaps he's going to be given a lot of support. Is that the right thing, to support a murderer? Should society, should the local communities, should his family and friends say, hey, you know what? You did the wrong thing, but you served your time, so now you're free, so we're going to help you out. Is that the right approach to take? It seems a bit weak to me. It seems wrong that society supports the wrong people so often, fails to support the right people. Society doesn't reward those that do the right thing by and large. This murderer is going to be forgiven by too many people. He's going to be given a helping hand. Oh no, you're a young man, you've come out of jail. Oh, we're going to help you out. We'll give you a job. We'll give you housing. We'll give you financial support. Maybe we'll bring you into our criminal gang. Maybe that's what we'll do. I don't know that's going to be the case, but that's my guess. There's a good chance of it. Do I think 10 years is enough for the murder of a 16-year-old boy, Jason Galleghan? No, it's not enough. I'm going to qualify that a little bit, and I don't wish to be offensive, but I'm going to qualify it a little bit, not a lot. This teenager was 14 years at the time, 14 years old at the time. Does that afford him a complete pass? Absolutely not, but some level of leniency, perhaps. He also pled guilty. In doing so, he's guaranteed a conviction. In doing so, he's made it easier on the family. I believe in such circumstances, the family don't have to go through quite as grueling a trial. They have some level of comfort that a sentence will be applied. So I would think that it would be somewhat fair, somewhat to be expected, that authorities would grant some level of leniency for the fact that he pled guilty. And also, we're told that he was just one part of a gang, of a group of teenagers and adults. We're not told how many people were involved, but he was just one part, a significant part. He lured Jason into the home in Doonside, but then a whole group of teenagers and adults attacked Jason to the point that he died in hospital 2 days later. So my point there is the 14-year-old wasn't entirely culpable. He wasn't the only person involved. He may not have dealt the final blow, if that matters. I guess I'm trying to not justify, but digest and perhaps explain why it could be deemed appropriate to give a murderer murderer a mere 10 years in jail. It's not enough, but I can understand being given a lighter sentence. Well, I've made a bit of an error there. He's been sentenced to 15 and a half years, but he may be released after 10 years. I doubt his family and friends are going to be satisfied with that. I'm sure his family and friends, those touched by Jason's death, are going to be angered when they learn that one of the scumbag murderers that took Jason's life may well be out of jail after 10 years, may well be able to move on with his life at the age of 24. Still a young man, still with his life ahead of him. He's got a second chance. Jason didn't. His family and friends, Jason's family and friends, will not be happy with that. They're going to be angry. They're going to feel let down. And that's important. That is really going to hamper their lives. That level of anger and resentment, which is fully understandable, fully justified, it's going to affect different people in different ways. But there's going to be some of Jason's family and friends that are just absolutely rocked by the lenient sentence of this murderer. So full condolences to Jason's family and friends again. Going to wrap things up at this point. I do need to mention that several others, hopefully all of the others that were involved in the attack, they're still awaiting a trial themselves. They're awaiting sentencing. At this point in time, if I understand correctly, it's just this one boy that has gone through a trial. He's pled guilty. He's been sentenced. Perhaps it was a quick process. I don't know. But let's hope that the other scumbags also face justice. And let's hope that their sentencing isn't as lenient. Perhaps there's an argument for some level of leniency. This murderer was 14 at the time. He wasn't the only person involved. He argues that he felt pressured to be a part of the attack. But regardless of those things, 10 years is not enough. I'm going to wrap things up. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit, and take care.